In this video, we're going to take a look at creating promo images similar to those you might find on the Daz store pages so that you can pick up your own promo gigs while working with the PAs that create the assets that we use every day. Hey there and welcome to my channel. My name is Rocco. I hope you're doing well. Over here we do Daz 3D tutorial videos to help you to get the most out of your own renders. I'm going to be starting off a series of videos in the upcoming weeks where I'm going to demonstrate different lighting setups that we can use with Daz. Anywhere from, the actual positions of lights, the nuts and bolts of where they should be positioned and how we can position them to get different lighting effects, but also certain things that we use in certain situations like fantasy lighting or horror lighting or something cinematic. And in this video though today, as shown in the little intro there, we're going to start off with probably the simplest of the lot, which is a simple promo image that you might see on the Daz store. Now, there are 4 key elements to doing a good promo image. The first of which is, of course, the model and the scene that you've got set up there. Whatever it is that you're trying to do a promo image for, whether it's a character model, a hair, clothing, whatever it might be, you make sure that you want to show it off in good light and the best way possible. And over here, we've got a model, hopefully eye-catching enough to cause us to take a look at the promo model if we saw it on the Daz store, sitting here or kneeling here in this little studio environment. Now, I did just mention the environment there that we use, and the stage setup that you've got for your promo image is quite an important element. If we were just to come out to the perspective view and have an overall look at what we've got, you can see that we're using this semicircular stage setup with our model plonked there in the middle of it. Now, you can actually get this stage setup from a lighting package, which you can find a link to down in the description below if you want to use it yourself. Now, the shape and, more importantly, the colour of the stage that we've got is important because of something that we don't talk about enough: reflected light. If we are firing light beams into our scene from this bottom left-hand corner up towards the stage and the model itself, this light is hitting the stage, the wall behind where our model's sitting, and it's reflecting back into our scene. So no matter what angle the light comes at, because of its shape, we're reflecting it into the scene, and therefore what we're trying to do is ensure that our model is lit up from all angles as best as we can possibly do, using just light that's coming from the front or the forward direction of the stage. Does that make sense? And so now when we come back to our camera view and we've turned on the Iray preview, you can see the impact and the effect that the stage setup that we've got is providing. Not only is the shape reflecting light back into the scene, but the colouring is creating this nice cool little background that is also in perfect contrast with our model. She's not on a blue background, she's not on a green background. It's a background that can complement the model itself, specifically around the hair, because the hair and background, it tends to get muddled up and fuzzed up when you're doing certain images. Which begs the question, what are we using for a light source in this example? Well, if we come across to our render settings, you can see that we're using a HDRI map. I've got it over here, and if I put it full screen for you, what this is ensuring is that we can provide as much light as possible from all different angles so that we can light our model up as like a Christmas tree. We don't want dark shadows and dark areas and bits, not when we're doing a promo image. So we want to provide as much global light as we can possibly do, hence the reason for the reflective background with her, because it's going to reflect light back towards her, so we can light her up fully, so we can see every little bit that we need to be able to see. Now, I have put a link down in the description to this particular HDRI map if you want it, but any HDRI that provides an all-round global light will do the job. Don't have sunlight, don't have things like that. Just something with lights that will go all around or as far around the model as we can possibly get, so she's being hit with light from all different angles. Now, this doesn't mean that we're done. What it means at the moment now is that we're going to add other lights into the scene just to complement the global light that we use. And we're not going to overwhelm things. We're not going to put blue lights in or do anything like that. We're just going to complement what we've currently got. So if we were to come up to the little light section that I've got here and just expand it out for a moment, you can see I've got a key light, a rim light and a fill light in scene. All of them are turned off at the moment. We're going to stick to the principles of three-point lighting system just so that we're not doing anything silly or crazy. Now if we were to turn on the key light, you can see that we're lighting up this side of the model. One, just to add to the light that's in the scene, but also just to brighten things up a little bit, but also to catch a few highlights that are existing on our model's skin. And if we were to take a look over at the numbers of our key light, we've got a rectangle geometry of about 1 meter in size. And then if we come down the bottom and just expand these out, because Daz is doing its Daz stuff, that's the lumen setup that we've got. And I've also upped the temperature, up to a full 10,000, so we make a really nice bright bluey type of light, as white as we can get. And if we were to just look through our key light, you can see the rough position that we're set up in there, just more or less shining directly at the front of the model, even though we are looking at her from a side-on view. And now back in our camera perspective, if we come to the fill light, so this will be a light more or less in the opposite direction of the key, and we turn that on. Again, we're just brightening up the scene and adding and complementing the light that's already coming in from our HDRI. We're not adding anything or anything like that. We're just brightening up what's already there. And again, down in the numbers, we've got a very similar setup. We've got a rectangular light, meter by a meter in size. The lumens this time have dropped down from 100,000 to 75,000. And the temperature again is at the full 10,000 to provide this really nice bright white light into the scene. We've also got our rim light. I'll tell you what, we'll just have a quick look at where the fill light is from. Again, it's more or less, at a complementary angle to what our main light is, which you can see over there, the key light is. Just lighting up the background, the back of our model, so it complements all angles. Again, we come back to our camera, and we come to our rim light now. Now, the rim light isn't really that important in this situation because we've got a nice bright background as it is. But we can just add a little bit of a rim light coming into our model. And what it'll do, it'll just start to add a little bit of highlight on back over here and maybe catch a few highlights that exist within her hair. And again, if we have a look at where the rim light is, you can see it's just pointing down from behind our model onto a back of her head and her shoulders. The rim light, again, if we come down to the numbers, I've just kept it as a point light. It's not really that important to go into square lights and rectangular lights with a rim light. And it's barely, well, it is actually the default brightness that I've got, just so it's adding a little bit in there and not overwhelming things. I have turned it into a bright white light to complement the other two lights that are in the scene. So if we now come back to our camera view and we summarize all the elements that are in play, we've got our model designed and posed and dressed in a way to catch the eye if somebody's looking at a promo image. We've got a stage background which is not only shaped in a certain way so that we get this nice gradient colour, but it's also reflecting the light back into the scene to help light our model up. We've also then got the HDRI, which of course is doing the heavy lifting when it comes to lighting the scene. And we've just added 3 lights in to complement the HDRI and brighten things up a little bit and to catch a few highlights just to make the image stand out a little bit. And what we've got there is something that we could use as a promo image on a Daz product if a PA wanted us to do the job for them. So there you go. You should now be able to do these studio type promo images for PAs. So get in touch with them, say, oh, I can do promo images, and show them what you can do. And there you go, you've opened up a new avenue of images that you can create and maybe a new career, who knows. So there you go, that is promo images and the lighting involved in it. As I said, we're going to be doing a series coming up now of doing different lighting setups and different lighting situations to show what we can do. So if you've got something out of this video, then please give me a like down below. That tells YouTube that I'm a better YouTuber than what I actually am. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing and hitting the little notification bell down below. And if you have any questions, whether it's about this image, this setup, lighting, or anything in Daz in general, or even if you just want a little chat, who knows, drop it in the comments down below and I'll get back to you as soon as we possibly can. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye now.